Earthworms may look small and simple, but they are some of the most important workers in the soil. Long before modern farming tools existed, people noticed something strange. Wherever earthworms gathered, plants grew stronger, greener, and faster. Farmers began to wonder why. What secret were these tiny creatures hiding underground? The truth is simple: earthworms love certain conditions. When the soil gives them what they need, they arrive in huge numbers. Today we are going to reveal two simple things that attract earthworms like crazy. These are not expensive tricks or complex science. In fact, they are things many people throw away every single day. If you add these two things to soil, the ground can quickly become alive with worms. But before we reveal them, you first need to understand why worms matter so much to the earth. Earthworms are often called nature's plow. They move slowly through the soil, eating tiny bits of plant matter as they go. As they tunnel, they create small air paths in the ground. These paths allow water and oxygen to reach plant roots. Without worms, soil becomes hard and dry, plants struggle to grow. But when worms are present, the soil becomes soft and rich. Farmers noticed this hundreds of years ago. Even the famous scientist Charles Darwin once studied earthworms and wrote about their power to change soil. Worms also leave behind something very special called worm castings. These are tiny piles of digested soil that contain nutrients plants love. In simple words, worms are living fertilizer factories. If you can attract them, your soil becomes naturally stronger. Now, here is the first thing that attracts earthworms like crazy. The secret is moisture. Earthworms breathe through their skin. This means their bodies must stay wet. If the soil becomes dry, worms cannot survive there. For long, they move away quickly in search of damp ground. But when the soil stays moist, worms feel safe and comfortable. That is why you often see them after rain. The rain softens the soil and keeps their bodies from drying out. Gardeners can copy this natural trick easily by watering soil gently and covering it with mulch. The ground stays cool and damp for longer periods. When worms sense this perfect environment, they move in quickly. Moist soil tells them one thing: this is a safe place to live. But moisture alone is not enough. Worms also need food. This brings us to the second powerful thing that attracts them. The secret food is simple organic waste. Things like vegetable scraps, fruit peels, and old leaves are like a buffet for earthworms. When these materials begin to break down, tiny microbes grow on them. Worms love to eat these microbes and the soft plant matter around them. In nature, forests are full of fallen leaves that slowly rot on the ground. That is why forests often contain millions of earthworms. You can recreate this same effect in a garden or yard by placing organic scraps into the soil or compost. You create a rich feeding ground. Worms smell the food and move toward it. One of the easiest ways to provide this food is compost. Compost is simply a pile of natural waste that slowly breaks down. Old leaves, grass clippings, fruit skins, and vegetable scraps all work well. As the pile begins to decay, heat and microbes start the process of turning waste into rich soil. Earthworms arrive soon after. They help finish the job by eating the soft material and turning it into castings. This process creates soil that is dark, crumbly, and full of nutrients. Gardeners often say good compost smells like fresh forest soil. That smell is a sign that life is working beneath the surface. Worms are one of the biggest helpers in this quiet underground factory. There is another interesting reason worms love organic scraps. As plant matter breaks down, it becomes easier to digest. Worms do not have strong teeth like animals. Instead, they rely on tiny particles of soil to grind their food inside their bodies. Soft, rotting plant pieces are perfect for this system. When worms eat this material, their bodies mix it with minerals and helpful bacteria. The result is worm castings that are far richer than ordinary soil. Scientists have found that these castings contain more nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium than the surrounding dirt. These nutrients are exactly what plants need to grow strong roots and healthy leaves. Many people believe worms simply appear by chance, but the truth is they follow signals in the soil. Moisture and food act like invitations. When worms sense both together, they gather in large numbers. Gardeners who use these two simple tricks often notice something surprising. After a few weeks, the soil begins to look darker and softer. When they dig into it, dozens of worms appear where there were none before. This is a sign that the soil ecosystem is becoming healthy again. The worms are not just visitors, they are workers repairing the land from below. However, there is one mistake that can drive worms away quickly. Chemicals and strong pesticides can harm them. These substances change the soil and damage the microbes worms depend on for food. Healthy worm populations usually appear where soil is treated gently. Natural materials, compost, and simple watering methods create a safe environment. When soil is respected instead of forced, worms return. On their own, in a way, worms are a signal. If they are present, the soil is alive. Over time, the work of earthworms can transform even poor soil. Their tunnels loosen compact ground. Their castings feed plants naturally. Their movement mixes organic matter deeper into the earth. This quiet labor happens day and night beneath our feet. Most people never notice it. Yet some scientists believe earthworms are among the most powerful soil builders on the planet. Without them, many ecosystems would struggle to survive. So the secret is surprisingly simple. If you want to attract earthworms like crazy, remember these two things. First, keep the soil moist so worms can breathe and move safely. Second, feed the soil with organic scraps so worms have plenty to eat when these two conditions exist. Together, worms arrive in large numbers. They will work silently underground, improving the soil every single day, and that is one of nature's oldest partnerships. Tiny worms below the ground, plants growing above it, and humans learning how to help both thrive together. Sometimes the most powerful secrets are also the simplest ones.